Hello, Sisters in Crime. I'm Mindy Quigley, and I'm hosting the Sisters in Crime Instagram Live today. We do these every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and we offer little tips and tricks to help you along your writing journey. So today we're going to have a guest on, and we're going to be talking about finding your unique writing process with Liz Mugavero / Cate Conte. So Liz, I am going to invite you to join us. All right. Liz on here. We've had some technical difficulties with the live today, so we're trying this a slightly different way. Miracle of miracles! Yeah,
Yay!
it's a different glitch every week, and I really don't know what today's glitch was, but we did it. Yay!
That must be so stressful for you. I would be freaking out if I was on your end trying to get it going.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is with the lives that you can just like start over.
Yeah, pretend it never happened.
But now I've told everyone that it happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, the evidence is out there. Okay, well, anyway, thank you so much for joining us today, Liz / Cate. If it's okay with you, I'm going to introduce you briefly.
Yeah.
So Liz Mugavero, who writes as Cate Conte, is the Agatha-nominated author of 3 cozy mystery series, about 20 books in total, which center on small communities and cats with big personalities. She is also a writing coach and a marketing guru and a podcaster. And she's really a genius who's thought a lot about the kind of stuff that we're going to talk about today, which is like demystifying the creative process and supporting writers as they do their thing. And she offers one-on-one classes and coaching. So if that's of interest to you, then check out her website after the live. But how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. You're very sweet. You make me sound good.
Well, delighted to have you on, and you're an inspiration. A lot of us writers in the community listen to your podcasts or see other like marketing tips
Oh,
and writing advice that you post on your socials, and really appreciate all that you do to support the community.
thank
Um,
you.
Wanted to go ahead and start with a question. So you
Yeah.
focus a lot in your coaching work on the impediments, like the emotional impediments that writers face as they write. How did that aspect of writing come to interest you?
I mean, I just learned over the years and through my own journey that the biggest thing holding me back personally was my own brain half the time. And so like mastering my mindset had to become a daily practice for me because otherwise I don't think I would have gotten anywhere. And it was especially important because I've always had a day job, at multiple day jobs at times when I've been trying to write these books and get this writing career going. And so like I really had to train myself to think about what I was doing differently, to just, not focus on, all the reasons why I couldn't write and find the time to write, even if it was like 15 minutes a day.
Yes, I have found the same thing. I think maybe
Yeah,
all
I
writers
think we
find
all.
this. Yeah. And I think to a
Yeah.
greater or lesser degree, I think that when you see writers depicted in TV and movies, like we're depicted as neurotic messes. And I wish
Yeah,
that I could say that was further from the truth than it is.
it's not.
So you're extremely accomplished. You've published over 20 books now. Are there things that have changed with your writing process throughout your publication journey now over 15 years-ish of
Yeah,
writing?
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's a work in progress, I think. So I think it changes all the time. And what maybe worked for you at the very beginning or somewhere along the way doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you now because life changes, jobs change, family change, whatever it is, like you always are having, it seems anyway, like you're always having to adjust your writing around whatever else is going on, right? So for me, I've changed my process a lot. Like I really try to write in the morning, but again, for years I had to, focus on finding the time, whether it was morning, lunch, evening, weekend, whatever it was, and just make sure I stayed consistent. So yeah, my process changes, I think, all the time, even daily still.
That battle for time is really common among writers, that feeling that
Yeah.
you never have enough time. How do you personally address that specific impediment?
Yeah. Um, so when I was working mostly full time, I really had to, like I said, I carved out a few minutes in the morning. That was my best time to write. So if I could, I would carve out a few minutes in the morning. And that kind of gave me the motivation to, you know, feel accomplished for the day. And then if I could get back to it later, I would. Now, when I'm more in charge of my own schedule, it's really funny because you would think that time would feel so much more open and available to write, and I still find myself thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm going to run out of time to write today. And so and now, since I don't have to rush somewhere in the morning, I'm uh less religious, let's say, about at a specific time pulling out my laptop. So I've really tried to get back to, I've noticed this happening over the winter when my schedule just went kind of crazy. I had to kind of set myself up for success. So that meant for me putting my laptop like on the floor next to my bed. So I didn't have the excuse of like, I have to go, walk 10 steps into the office to get it. It is literally right here. And I'm going to step on it if I get up. So pull it out and start writing.
I
So,
love that. And one point that you make, like the early morning writing routine. So I was on a panel recently where everybody else was like waking up at 5 or 6 in the morning to get writing done. It's the very first thing that they do.
yeah,
That is not my pattern. And I was feeling a little bit like,
yeah,
but what I hear you saying is that, whatever that time is okay as long as you try to be consistent and don't let yourself make excuses forever. Like of
yeah.
course things happen, you get sick, you're doing caretaking, you have travel for work, whatever, but like don't let that excuse become your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so easy to look at other people and how they do it and say, "Oh my gosh, I suck because I should be doing it that way." But that's not true, right? It's great to take advice or to hear how other people work and then just kind of take it in and then test it, see if it works for you. But it does, if you don't do it that way, if it doesn't resonate with you, that doesn't mean that you're not doing it right or that you can't be a writer or whatever else we tell ourselves that really messes with our heads.
So you've had some big life changes just recently. Congratulations on your wedding. And
Thanks.
then you're also moving. So those are
Yeah.
like two fairly huge things. When stuff like that occurs and you're not able to keep that consistency, how do you make yourself get back on the horse?
Yeah, it's so easy to fall off. Again, except for maybe the day that I am physically doing the move, like I have already started scheduling time now, even though the move is like 6 weeks away. I've already started scheduling up my writing time just so even if I have to move it around later, just so I know that it's there, it's a commitment on my calendar and it's something that has to happen. Unless like my computer is in transit, right?
And how much time is enough? Is 10 minutes enough? Does it need to be an hour? What do you think?
No, anything that I used to think like when I was working a million hours, like, oh, if I don't have 8 hours to write, like, why bother? I'm never gonna get anywhere. Like, it's so silly because even when I do have 8 hours, I do not use 8 hours to write. So no, I think if you can, 5 minutes is great. Even if you have like 30 seconds to write a sentence, like that is progress, and I tend to focus on the, oh my gosh, I didn't do enough. So I've been actively trying to retrain my brain to reward myself for every, paragraph I write because it all matters.
Do you do physical rewards ever? I know writers who do like little sticker books or like, I'm going to get a pedicure at the end of this month if I get a certain amount of words done. Do you do stuff like that?
Sometimes it depends. I need to get better at treating myself. I do have some gold stickers that actually my husband bought me because he knows I don't hype myself up enough. So he bought me a whole thing of gold star stickers, and he's like, every time you do something, whatever it is, I don't. He's like, I don't know what you writers do, but whatever you do something, just put a stick. Because I would tell him that when I was a kid in school, I was such a nerd. I used to love it when I got the gold star in my hand, from the teacher or whatever. He's like, put a gold star in your hand for the day.
Oh,
Just
that's
be happy.
fantastic. I need to get some
Yeah.
gold stars. I've been watching Ellie Alexander has a series on Instagram now or on her socials, actually across her socials. And about her writing process and like following her while she writes a book. And Raquel is in the comments giving you a gold star.
Oh, thank you so much.
um, but Ellie Alexander is having this web series where she's like following her as she writes a book. And she's like, I need to warn you, this is not going to be very visually compelling because a lot of it's just me like
Yeah, yeah,
typing,
yeah.
type, type,
Yeah,
type. And yeah, it's true. You know, like if you don't set those milestones for yourself, it's very hard externally. Like these books can take years to write
yeah,
sometimes, and it's hard, you know, to break that down into milestones where you feel like you've earned that gold star. So I love that
absolutely.
you're trying to actively
Yeah.
do that. So in your life as a writing coach and a creativity coach, what are some common pitfalls that you've seen your clients, like what's a trap that you see all the time that you hate to see people fall into?
Yeah, I mean, time has to be the biggest one, hands down. Like, because everyone's so busy, right? And most people are juggling multiple responsibilities, jobs, families, all the things,
Mhm.
right? So it's really easy to fall into the, well, tonight I have to bring my kid to soccer, and then tomorrow I have a work meeting, and whatever it is. And I get it. I totally get it, and I still do it to myself. But I hate it, right? Because we
Yeah.
we put so much pressure on ourselves to, again, like you said, like if we don't have a big chunk of time, we think nothing's going to matter. But it's so important to realize that even the smallest amount of time you have, if you're sitting in your car waiting to pick up your kid from school, or whatever it is, like bring your notebook, or use your notes app and just put some ideas down. It doesn't have to be perfect prose. It's not going to win an award necessarily, but it's momentum, right, in your story.
Yes. And also recognizing that this is something that you want to do. You know, like
Yeah,
even if you're under contract for something like this, you've chosen to do this.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's something I think that I forget sometimes, that it's like this is a privilege to be able to make this time to do this. So
yeah,
like let's enjoy it and have fun and not beat ourselves
yeah.
up when it doesn't go exactly how we hoped.
Yeah, one
Um,
of the things that helps too, and I've been trying to do this too, like changing the language from like, oh my, like getting up in the morning saying, oh my God, I have to write today. It's like, no, I get to write today.
yes, yes. And those like
Yeah.
little mental reframes I think can be super duper important. Are there any like books or resources that you recommend to people frequently?
Yeah, one of my favorites is Bird. I actually have my copy right here. Bird by Bird. This is my very old version of it, but one of my favorites, right? And I haven't read it in many years. I'm reading it with my membership right now. And it's such a good reminder. It's the same thing we've been talking about. You don't have to, do the whole science project on the birds in one night. You take it one bird at a time, which is the whole idea of the book. And it's just, yeah, it really, I love Anne Lamott because she breaks down those pieces of it so well, but she also talks about, different ways to really capture the essence of the joy of writing.
Yeah, there's another book called Gentle Writing Advice by Chuck
Oh,
Wendig. Have you seen this book?
no.
So he wrote it after he had like a little bit of a breakdown. And,
Oh,
you know, he was somebody who was very process driven.
yeah,
And I see that a lot, you know, especially with genre fiction writers, that it's like, well, you know, I'm going to put like my four key suspects and then these time points and like I've got a template for that. And those things can be super helpful. But if you get into a situation where that process, whatever, if you've established something rigid and it's not
yeah,
working for you, you need to have other tools in your arsenal and you need to be able to like get out of that mindset of beating yourself up.
yeah.
um,
Yeah, and you need to leave room for the magic, I think, too. Because same thing, like I love, so my last book's a really good example. I thought I did really. I'm not usually a plotter. I mean, and over the years that's evolved, and I've become more of a outliner. I'm not like a scene by scene plotter, and I never will be. But I thought I was getting better. I was patting myself on the back. I'm like, oh, good, you've got most of this book kind of planned out. It's going to be a breeze. And I was like almost done, and I was like, I don't know, it's just not working, and I had to go back and realize, like, some of the stuff that I had outlined just didn't fit the book anymore. But I was like, nope, I outlined it, I'm going to stick to it, I'm going to get it done. And I ended up like still coming in, right at my deadline, because I had to go back and do a lot of rewrites because I was just making myself stick to something that wasn't working, because I thought, like, oh, this is not what I have to do because I put it on paper.
yes, I actually did that for my book too.
Yeah.
So it's a thing we do.
Yeah.
um, So, can you walk us through a typical Liz Mugavero writing day? And you did a little bit before, but like, do you have word count goals? Do you have like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, it depends on where I am in a book. Right now, I'm working on I'm working on kind of three things at once. So my next Cat Cafe book, which isn't due to the end of the year, I'm just kind of in the beginning stages of thinking about that. I'm working on a proposal for something else, and then I'm working on a different book that I don't have a contract for yet. So I've been trying to really go hard on the book that doesn't have a contract yet.
I'm going to
And
manifest that for you right now.
thank you.
Manifest. Okay.
I love it. Thank you. So I've been trying to write 1,000 words a day on that book, and then this other proposal that I'm working on needs to be done by the end of April. So I've also been spending probably an hour or so on that a day just to try to make some progress. So I'm not, last day that it's
Yeah.
able to be submitted, trying to get it done. So my goal is to finish that this week. But yeah, so I'm trying to just juggle between a few things right now. And I still do have I'm not working an official day job, but I do consulting. So I still do have client work to do. So I'm still trying to balance things. It's just that I have more control over, allegedly, how that gets balanced. Yeah.
Well, I so appreciate you taking the time out of your very busy schedule to spend with us today and share some of your wisdom, and
Thanks.
strongly encourage everybody to check out your social media and your website because there are a lot of great resources there available. And if anyone is interested in one-on-one creativity coaching, you have all sorts of sizes of package there for people who may need a little bit of help or may need a lot of hand holding along the way. So again, very much appreciate you sharing your insights, and I will post your 5 tips for finding your own unique writing process in the chat.
Thank you for having me.
All right, thanks so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.